All right. Hey, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm trying to get you all back on. Having some technical difficulties. I'm not sure what's going on this end or, whatever. Not sure what's going on this end or, whatever. Not sure what's going on this end or. All right, let me share to a couple of places. All right, thank you all so much for the thumbs up. Can you hear me and see me clearly? Please let me know in the chat if you can hear me and see me clearly. All right, y'all. So welcome. Go ahead and get started. My name is Andrea from Andrea Speaks TV. I'm back to bring you news and commentary you can use. So welcome. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. Thank you for your support. I do want to invite everyone to subscribe and join our community. Okay. So if you're looking for a community where we're not only seeking truth, seeking answers, but seeking real solutions, then I want to invite you to subscribe. Okay. I'm just going to type that into the chat. I'm also going to pin that message. All right, y'all. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. A couple of things that I want to talk about tonight. I was giving you all updates on how I was feeling. And so I do want to say that I am feeling better. Okay. I want to say, I hope you're doing well. I hope your family is doing well. And as always, thank you so much for your support. Okay. Hey, Linda. Linda says no sound. Let's see. I have my volume turned up. Let me check the. I have my phone here. Let's see. Are you able to hear me now, Linda? Are you able to hear me now, Linda? I'm checking I'm checking the live stream on another electronic device, and I do hear it clearly. So Linda, let me know if you're able to hear me now, okay? Let me know if you're able to hear me now. You may want to also check your volume, see if your volume is all the way up. Okay. So, Linda, if you could check your volume. Anyone else, let me know. Are you all able to hear me and see me clearly? I do have another electronic device, and I'm checking. Do you have your volume turned all the way up? Sometime, y'all know this technology can be something else, right? You may have to, and I had to do this just now, shut down your computer or restart your computer and then rejoin the live. Okay. Hey, Dragonfly Neb, thank you so much for joining. Thank you. I am feeling better. Hey, Linda. All right. Linda said, got you now. Okay. Very good. I want to make sure that you all can not only see me, but that you can also hear me clearly. Okay. First of all, let's talk about the weather, y'all. Okay. The weather. I'm here in Georgia. The weather has been cooler than usual. Okay, so here we are at the beginning of May. Okay, we're at the beginning of May, right? This time of year is normally starting to get warmer. Okay, for those of us who, like myself, we are planting a lot of vegetables because we have already, anticipated that the last frost date has passed, right? But now, where I am in Georgia, and you all please let me know how the weather is in your area. It's starting to get cool again. Very windy. Okay, for I don't know what reason. I'm not close to a major body of water, so I don't know how it is so windy in my particular area in the state of Georgia. So it's windy. It is a little bit cooler, and um, I don't know. You all let me know. Have you noticed when you're outside? Because I have been outside. It seemed like there's something in the air, um, like a very fine particle. I don't know if it's dust. It's not anything where it's like a lot of it, so you can clearly see. But if you just pay attention and look around, my husband and I were talking about this. If you just pay attention and look in that, just look at that, just the air, or whatever, right? The atmosphere. It almost appears as if there is like something just flying around. I'm not sure exactly what it is. Another thing, excuse me, another thing that I noticed also, and my husband and I, we talked about this. I also noticed that now you may say, okay, Andrea, how do you know all this information, right? um in my yard, I have, whether it's raised beds, containers, I have these items strategically placed because I know, okay, this part of the yard, this part of the yard, the sun is shining. Okay, as the plants are growing, they need the most sunlight as possible, right? But now I'm noticing now in the summer months, in the spring, summer, um, the full sun, it appears. Um, so basically, what I'm trying to say, I don't want to get you confused and everything. I know depending on the season, the way the sun is supposed to shine in the yard, right? Okay, you may not quite understand it, or maybe you do. For those of you all who grow your own fruits and vegetables. But what I'm noticing is, okay, here it is, spring, right? A couple of months it'll be summer. I'm noticing that during the hottest part of the day, right, when the full sun should be shining, like in every part of the yard, okay, or some of the main areas where I have like raised beds, containers. I'm noticing now, right, at the beginning of May, that the sun is not hitting those parts of the yard like it normally would, like for, let's say, for example, last year. Okay, now I've reported on the channel before. I don't know if y'all remember, but I did a couple of videos. Okay, are you all still able to hear me and see me? On my end, everything is coming through clearly. Okay, you all comment, let me know that you can still hear me, see me. Let me know everything is coming through good. I'm making a very good point here, but I'm noticing that the sun, okay, the sun shining down, right? For this time of year, for this particular season, this month, right? The way the sun is shining on different parts of the yard is not adding up to how it would normally be. Okay, does that make sense to y'all? Dragonfly Neb says you're right. Okay, I'm telling y'all, and I don't know if you pay attention, but in the winter months, okay, in the hottest part of the day, the sun is not going to shine on all parts of the yard like it normally does. Okay, I hope I'm making sense to you all. And so, right here on the channel, as I was saying, I've done some videos before where there have been talks or reports, right, of blocking the sun, um, you know, spraying different particles in the air, you know, things that have to allegedly do with climate change, right? And I'm just wondering, okay, why is it that for this time of year, okay, are you noticing the same thing, Dragon Fly Neb? The weather, it's like a lot of things are off. It's not adding up. For when you think about the time of year, right? When you think about the season, okay, and no matter wherever you're located, right? Based on your geographic location, for this month, okay, this time of year, how the weather is normally in your area, right? Y'all, the way it is, like I say, it's very windy where I live. Okay, here in Georgia, it's very windy. It's much cooler, and it's confusing because I'm not located directly near a large body of water. So I don't know. I could see if I could see if that's my stove going off, y'all. I got to get up in just a minute, but I could see if I was located along the coast or somewhere like that. But it could be that type of weather. You know how it is when you're on the beach, the wind is blowing, it's a little bit cooler, but I'm not located near a body of water, so I don't understand why we're having this type of weather. Dragonfly Neb says we went from 92 degrees on Saturday to 62 degrees today. Yes, and I told you all what last month sometime we had like the temperature dropped by half. Like it was like in the 80s, and then the next day, like 24 hours later, it went down to the 40s. Like, where does that happen at? How often does that happen? That doesn't usually happen, right? Again, unusual weather patterns. Okay, so one of the things, and I'm going to get into some other topics, but one of the things that I want you to pay attention to is the weather in your area. The sun, the sun shining. Pay attention to um, the air. And I know you're like, Andrea, you can't see air, but just look. Okay, you may see like something just blowing. You're like, okay, what is that in the air? Okay, all right, y'all. I need to set my timer, so give me just a moment. I'm gonna get up, and I'll be right back. Okay, you all let me know in the comments. Let me know what um, topics you would like to cover. I have a few topics that I want to talk about in this live. Give me just a minute, y'all, and I'll be right back. Okay. All right, thank you. Thank you. Okay. All right, you all let me know. Are you still able to hear me clearly? Okay. Are you still able to hear me? Okay, very good. Thank you so much, Dragonfly Neb. Okay. All right, y'all. I want to get into my first story. You all know I've been talking about the dangers. I've done videos on this before where I talked about the dangers, the concerns that I have for artificial intelligence, also known as AI. Okay, I want to read you a very interesting story. Um, just a sec. Excuse me. That one came on out. Okay, sorry about that, y'all. I want to read you a very interesting story. Um, Actually, I have two articles. I said two, y'all, and held up one finger. Sorry about that, y'all. I have two articles, okay, that I want to share concerning artificial intelligence. Let me see if I can find the first one. Okay. Let's see. And please let me know in the chat if you have your own concerns about AI. You know, it seems like, and I shared this in one of my most recent videos, it seems like we're actually living in an AI boom, an artificial intelligence boom. Would you all agree or disagree on that? Okay. Let's see. Just a minute, y'all. Let me see if I can find this article again. It was very interesting. Let's see. Give me just a minute, y'all. I gotta find it again. Okay, listen to this, y'all. Okay. Um, Hold on just a minute. I gotta go back. All right, listen, y'all. This person is known as, and I quote, the godfather of AI, the godfather of artificial intelligence. It says this person quit Google, okay, with regrets and fears about his life's work. Okay, listen to this, y'all. Geoffrey, I don't know if it's pronounced Geoffrey or Jeffrey Hinton, so I'll just refer to him by last name Hinton, who won the Nobel Prize of Computing for his trailblazing work on neural networks, is now free to speak about the risk of AI. Listen to this, y'all. Okay. Hinton, who alongside two other so called, and I quote, godfathers of AI, won the 2018 Turing Award for their foundational work that led to the current boom. Oh, listen to this, y'all. Okay. It's my first time reading the article, right? Um, that led to the current boom in artificial intelligence now says a part of him regrets his life's work. Now, listen to this, y'all. And this is quite interesting, okay? I haven't read this particular article, but I did see the headline, and it's like, okay, instantly I'm thinking, for someone who spent a great deal of time, who apparently did some groundbreaking trailblazing work, so to speak. How is it now that he's regretting what he's done? Okay, but listen to this, y'all. Okay, um, he now says a part of him regrets his life's work. Okay, again, you may say, Andrea, what's the point of sharing this article? Again, I'm expressing my concerns, and I have expressed my concerns about artificial intelligence, this boom that we're in. Is it being regulated? Are people asking questions? Are people really looking at the risk? and the dangers, so-called dangers of it. Um, we're going to talk about the digital dollar as well. Okay, there's some coming in July, which is what 2 months away. I don't think a lot of people know about it. Are you familiar with Fed Now? Let me know if you're familiar with Fed Now. And okay, that's an interesting point. Dragonfly Neb, tell me why AI doesn't. You said AI does not bother me. Could you explain a little bit more? All right, listen, y'all. So you have this man, last name Hinton. He recently quit his job at Google in order to speak freely about the risk of AI, according to an interview with a 75-year-old in the New York Times. Okay, so this particular person, 75 years old. Okay, Hinton notified Google of his resignation last month, and on Thursday talked to CEO Sundar uh, Pichai. I hope I didn't. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. His name wrong. His or her name wrong. According to the New York Times, details of that discussion were not disclosed. The lifelong academic joined Google after it acquired a company started by Hinton and two of his students, one of whom went on to become chief scientist at OpenAI. Hinton and his students had developed a neural network that taught itself to identify common objects like, I'm sorry, let me read that again. Henson and his students had developed a neural network that taught itself to identify common objects like dogs, cats, and flowers after analyzing thousands of photos. It's this work that ultimately led to the creation of ChatGPT and Google Bard. Okay. According to the New York Times interview, Hinton was happy with Google's stewardship of the technology until, listen to this, y'all, until Microsoft launched the new OpenAI infused Beam, challenging Google's core business and sparking a, and I quote, code red response inside the search giant. Such fierce competition might be impossible to stop, the article says. Henson says, resulting in a world with so much fake imagery and text that nobody will be able to tell what is true anymore. Okay, didn't I say that in my last live, y'all? Or at my last video? And because of all of this, these different artificial intelligence apps and programs and softwares, could it get to the point, okay, where it's very difficult to distinguish what's real and what's not, what's true and what's not? Okay, Google's chief scientist, Jeff Dean, worked to soften the blow, the article says, with the following statement, and I quote, we remain committed to a responsible approach to AI. We're continually learning to understand its risks while also innovating boldly. Okay. Hinton also took to Twitter to claim his position on Google stewardship. And I quote in the New York Times today, Cade Metz implies that I left Google so that I could criticize Google. Actually, I left so that I could talk about the dangers of AI. I'm just saying, y'all, I've been put this out there, right? Um, so again, he says, and I quote, actually, I left so that I could talk about the dangers of AI without considering how this impacts Google. Google has acted very responsibly. Okay, so he made a point to say all of that. The spread of misinformation, the article says, is only Hinton's immediate concern. On a longer timeline, listen to this, y'all. He's worried that AI, artificial intelligence, will eliminate rote jobs and possibly humanity itself as AI begins to write and run its own code. Okay, now I'm a little bit tech savvy. Okay, I'm not one to say that I know everything about programming and coding. So if you have any insight into that, whether you agree or disagree, please feel free to share in the chat. Okay. All right, y'all, listen. Here's a quote, and I quote, the idea that this stuff could actually get smarter than people. Haven't I talked about this, y'all? I said in my last line. Now, this is my first time reading the article, right? But I'm just thinking, using logic and reasoning. Okay. Could it get to the point where this new artificial intelligence or the artificial intelligence that has always been out, could it get to the point where it outpaces, outthinks, outperforms um, humans, right? Humanity. Listen to this, y'all, okay? Again, let me quote, the spread of misinformation is only Hinton's immediate concern. On a longer timeline, he's worried that AI will eliminate rote jobs and possibly humanity itself. Think about that, y'all. Possibly humanity itself as AI begins to write and run its own code, okay? Somebody Here's a quote from even longer away. I no longer think that. Okay. Enough. Okay. That VP Kamala Harris. Okay, haven't spoken about her as much recently. She had been traveling the country as well as the world, energy, electric vehicles, things like that. So now, okay, according to CNBC, Vice President Kamala Harris will be discussing AI, okay, in a meeting with Google, Microsoft, OpenAI, and Anthropic CEOs. Okay, now when I first heard this, I was like, okay, well, this is interesting. What position or what stance is she going to take in this meeting, right? Listen, y'all. Okay, Vice President Kamala Harris will meet with the chief executives of Google, Microsoft, OpenAI, and Anthropic Thursday, okay, to discuss the responsible development. I'm kind of shocked, y'all, okay, to discuss the responsible development of artificial intelligence. The White House confirmed to CNBC on Tuesday. Okay, Harris will address the need for safeguards that can mitigate AI's potential risk. What? And emphasize the importance of ethical and trustworthy innovation. I'm completely shocked, y'all. Okay, they're actually talking about putting are these real solutions, real steps to safeguard and protect people, businesses, entities from the possible threats and dangers of artificial intelligence? Are they trying to actually implement real change, real solutions here? You let me know your thoughts in the comments, okay? Um, and please feel free, just because I seem to take one position on this, expressing my concerns about artificial intelligence. If you disagree, that's okay. I do like to hear, different viewpoints. So please don't feel like I'm going to scream or block you just for, putting an opposing view. For putting an opposing view in the chat. We can agree to disagree respectfully. So, if you have a different viewpoint than I do, feel free to share it in the chat respectfully. Okay. So again, Vice President Harris will address the need for safeguards that can mitigate AI's potential risk and emphasize the importance of ethical and trustworthy innovation, the White House said. Okay, the vice president will also be joined by senior members of the Biden administration, including Gina Raimondo, the Secretary of Commerce, Jeff Zients, Biden's Chief of Staff, Jake Sullivan, Biden's National Security Advisor, and the Director of the Office of Science and Technology Policy. Okay. Um, Representatives for Google and OpenAI did not, I'm sorry, representatives for Google and OpenAI did not immediately respond to requests for comment. A Microsoft spokesperson declined to comment. A representative for Anthropic confirmed the company will attend the meeting. Okay. Um, it says also, I'm just kind of skimming the article. It says while many experts are optimistic about the potential of generative AI, the technology has also inspired questions and sorry about that, y'all. Let me start over. While many experts are optimistic about the potential of generative AI, the technology has also inspired questions and concerns from regulators and tech industry giants. Okay. Henson, who I just spoke about, known to some of the tech industry as, and I quote, the godfather of AI, left his longtime position at Google partly to share his concerns about the potential threat of AI. According to a report on Monday, Elon Musk, CEO of Tesla, SpaceX, and Twitter, was one of more than 27,000 people to sign an open letter in March that called on AI labs to pause development. Okay. I just want to talk about that letter before I move on to the next topic. Elon Musk and other tech leaders called for a pause on dangerous race. Okay, that's a quote. Elon Musk and other tech leaders called for a pause on, and I quote, a dangerous race to make AI as advanced as humans. Okay, so please share your thoughts in the comments. I just want to tell you a little bit about this letter. Elon Musk and dozens of other technology leaders have called on AI labs to pause the development of systems that can compete with human level intelligence. Okay, please let me know. Share your thoughts. Do you agree or disagree with Elon Musk and other tech leaders in sending this letter calling for a pause on this development? Okay, in an open letter, the article says from the Future of Life Institute. Now, what is that? I got to do some research, y'all. In an open letter from the Future of Life Institute. Think about that, y'all. The future of life. What is that about? Who's behind that? Who's involved? Okay, I got let's make sure, let's make a note to research that. The Future of Life Institute. Okay, signed by Musk, Apple co-founder, um, and 2020 presidential candidate Andrew Yang. AI labs were urged to cease training models more powerful than GPT-4. Okay, the latest version of the large language model software developed by U.S. startup OpenAI. Okay, here's a quote, and it says contemporary AI systems are now becoming human competitive at general tasks. We must ask ourselves, should we let machines flood our information channels with propaganda and untruth? Okay, that's what the letter read. Continuing to quote, and I quote, should we automate away all the jobs, including the fulfilling ones? Should we develop non human minds that might eventually outnumber, outsmart, obsolete, and replace us? Think about this, y'all. Should we risk loss? The article says, should we risk loss of control of our civilization? Think about these, y'all. These are all, do you feel like these are legitimate concerns to have? Could very well be, right? Now, the Future of Life Institute. Remember, I asked a question about that. Remember, I asked a question about that, right? The Future of Life Institute is a nonprofit organization based in Cambridge, Massachusetts, that campaigns for the responsible and ethical development of artificial intelligence. Its founders include MIT cosmologist Max Tegmark and Skype co-founder Jan Tallinn. Okay, the organization um, has previously gotten the likes of Musk and Google-owned AI lab DeepMind to promise, and I quote, never to develop lethal autonomous weapon systems. Now, that sounds like a whole nother thing we need to talk about. So I'm gonna make a note to do some research on that. Okay. The institute said it was calling on all AI labs to immediately pause for at least 6 months the training of AI systems more powerful than GPT-4. Okay, GPT-4. If you're wondering like me, what is that? Which was released earlier this month, is thought to be far more advanced than its predecessor GPT-3. Okay, if someone has some insight on that in the comments, please share. Okay, here's another quote, and I quote it: if such a pause cannot be enacted quickly, governments should step in and institute a moratorium. Okay, do you believe that the government? Hello to everyone tuning in. Thank you, thank you. I see that we have some more people who are watching now, so thank you all so much for your support. Uh, comment below so that I can give you a shout out, and thank you so much for tuning in. Okay, listen, y'all, they're saying that if a pause cannot be enacted quickly, that the government, okay, this nonprofit organization, Future of Life Institute, is calling on the government to intervene, to step in and issue a moratorium if a pause cannot be enacted. It says quickly. Okay, the Chat GPT, the viral AI chatbot, the article says, has stunned researchers with its ability to produce human-like responses to user prompts. We talked about that. By January, Chat GPT had amassed 100 million monthly active users, y'all. Okay, only 2 months into its launch, making it the fastest growing consumer application in history. Did you all know that? I had no idea about that, right? But the article says AI ethicists, I hope I'm saying that word right, have also raised concerns with potential abuses of the technology, such as plagiarism and misinformation. Okay, we talked about that as well. So, what do y'all think about that? Let me know your thoughts. Okay, y'all. I also want to talk about. Someone mentioned the digital dollar early on. Okay, um, could someone share your concerns about the digital dollar? What are your concerns? Do you know what I mean by digital dollar? And what is the future of money, y'all? Let's see. I want to talk about Fed Now. Okay, you all let me know in the comments. Have you ever heard about Fed Now? Are you aware of Fed Now? Let me know your thoughts. Okay. So something is coming in July. Now I probably need to make this its own video I probably will go back and do that, but I just want to introduce you to this topic on tonight's live. Okay. You all are very quiet in the comments now. Let me know. Are you still able to hear me clearly, see me clearly? Please let me know. Okay. Thank you all so much for the thumbs up. Okay. Also, by giving a thumbs up, that also lets me know that you're able to hear me and see me clearly. Okay. So please let me know. Have you heard of Fed Now? Have you heard of Fed Now? Okay. All right. The long awaited. Okay. Speaking of digital dollar, central bank digital currency, all of that is kind of in the same category, right? The long awaited Fed digital payment system. Okay. To launch in July. Listen to this, y'all. You need to know about it so that when it comes, you won't be like, hey, wait a minute, what's going on? Why nobody told me about this? I'm telling you now if you haven't already heard it. Listen to this, y'all. The Federal Reserve's digital payment system. Okay. Let's see. Dragonfly Neb said they will be able to track everything you buy. Exactly. Okay. Listen to this, y'all. The Federal Reserve's digital payment system, which it promises will help speed up the way money moves. Listen, y'all. This is a real thing. They've been working on this going into effect in July, y'all. Well, less than 2 months. You need to know about this, okay? The Federal Reserve's digital payment system, which it promises will help speed up the way money moves, will debut in July. Okay, FedNow, as it will be known, will create, and I quote, a leading edge payment system that is resilient, adaptive, and accessible. Okay, said Richmond Fed President Tom Barkin, who is the program's executive sponsor. Okay, the system will allow bill payments. Listen to this, y'all. Okay, based on my research, I would say that it's kind of like the Federal Reserve's version of maybe Zelle or like to rival Zelle or Cash App, those type of payment systems. Listen to this, y'all. The system will allow bill payments, money transfers such as paychecks and disbursements from the government, as well as a host of other consumer activities to move more rapidly and at a lower cost according to the program's goals. How do you all feel about this? Okay. Participants, the article says, will complete a training and certification process. Listen to this, y'all. Here's a quote, okay? And I quote, with the launch drawing near, we urge financial institutions. Now, listen, y'all, I don't know if you've been paying attention, but we've been seeing a lot. There's been a lot of banks in the news, right? Whether they're going under, in trouble, banks buying other banks out. We've been hearing a lot of things going on now. And when I lay all the cards out on the table, I'm saying, okay, all of this is happening with banks. And here we are, coming up in less than 2 months, you know, the Federal Reserve is bringing out, introducing, putting into effect this digital payments program. Okay. The timing of all of this is very questionable to me, but please let me know your thoughts. Okay. Listen, y'all. They're urging financial institutions, okay, places where you and I bank, right? With the here's a quote, and it says, "With the launch drawing near, we urge financial institutions and their industry partners to move full steam ahead." I'm reading a quote, y'all. Okay, somebody actually said this, and I quote, "Listen, with the launch drawing near, we urge financial institutions and their industry partners to move full steam ahead with preparations to join the Fed Now service." Okay, said Ken Montgomery, the program executive and first vice president at the Boston Fed, okay, which helped spearhead the project under former Boston Fed President Eric Rosengren. Okay, institutions, listen to this, y'all. Okay, institutions that participate in the program will have 7 day 24-hour access as opposed to a system currently in place that closes on weekends. Okay. Program advocates say it will get money. So here are the pros and cons. Listen to this, y'all. Program advocates say it will get money out to people much more quickly. For instance, they said government payments like those issued in the early days of the COVID pandemic would have been credited to accounts immediately rather than the days it took to reach most people. Okay. Some Fed officials say The program could even supplant the need for a central bank digital currency. Okay. Is this new Fed Now program, right? Which they're saying, hey, if there's ever need to get money out to the people, you can use this program. Not only will it get there faster to you, but the banks, they'll be in operation 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Okay. What do you all think? Is this particular program, okay, is it laying the foundation for the introduction of a central bank digital currency? Okay. And you may say, well, Andrea, what is that? So let me give you some information on that. Central bank digital currency, okay, otherwise known as CBDC. Okay, you may hear people on news articles, YouTube videos talk about CBDC. This is what they're referring to, central bank digital currency. Okay, according to the Federal Reserve website, okay, while the Federal Reserve has made no decisions on whether to pursue or implement a central bank digital currency or CBDC, the Federal Reserve says we have been exploring the potential benefits and risk of CBDCs from a variety of angles. This is on the Federal Reserve.gov website, y'all. I'm not making this up. You can do your research and pull this up yourself, okay? Um, so they're saying that we have been exploring the potential benefits and risk of CBDCs from a variety of angles, including through technological research and experimentation. The Federal Reserve says, this is all a quote, our key focus is on whether and how a CBDC could improve on an already safe and efficient U.S. domestic payment system. Okay, I just told y'all the payment system is coming out in July. So are they introducing the payment system first and then planning on rolling out this central bank digital currency? Okay, you all let me know what you think about that. Now, the article on the Federal Reserve.gov website says that CBDC is generally defined as a digital liability of a central bank that is widely available to the general public. Today in the United States, Federal Reserve notes or physical currency are the only type of central bank money available to the general public. Okay, they're talking about, like, for example, the dollar bill, $5 bill, $10 bill, things like that, coins, right? Um, Says like existing forms of money, a CBDC would enable the general public to make digital payments as a liability of the Federal Reserve. However, a CBDC would be the safest digital asset available to the general public. Listen to what they're telling you, with no associated credit or liquidity risk. Okay, the Federal Reserve Board has issued a discussion paper that examines the pros and cons of a potential U.S. CBDC. As part of this process, we sought public feedback on a range of topics related to CBDC, and the Federal Reserve is committed to hearing a wide range of voices on these topics. Okay, I'm going to cover that in a video. I'm going to do some more research and try to figure out, okay, what's going on, what were the pros and cons that were listed. Okay, you all please give me a thumbs up, purple hearts in the channel. Okay, in the comments to let me know if you are enjoying this broadcast and if you find the information to be helpful. Okay, I promise not to keep you all too much longer. I do want to touch on another topic. Here on the channel, um, we've been talking about train derailments. Okay, you're probably looking at the thumbnail. You probably saw the thumbnail of this video. That was from a more recent train or cargo train derailment. I believe it occurred in Wisconsin. But I want to ask the question, why are there, now you may say, okay, well, Andrea, and I saw this in my research, there are train derailments that happen each year, but why is it that this year and this past year, really this year, right? It kind of, when this, when the thought of train derailments, when that caught my attention, when it caught, my attention, it really started with back in February, like the first part of February, that would have been February, March, April, 3 months ago, right? When the train derailment happened in East Palestine, Ohio, and um, all the chemicals were released into the atmosphere, into the ground, into the water systems there. Um, and ever since, although people can say, every year there's so many train derailments that have happened, it got to the point for me where it's like, okay, it's happening so frequently, it did make me think, okay, is this happening um purposely? Like, is someone, for whatever reason, intentionally interfering with the rail system, the rail cars, and trying to intentionally inflict harm to people and the environment? Like, what's really going on, right? So there was another recent train derailment I want to speak about. um, a cargo train derailed in Wisconsin, sending cars tumbling into the Mississippi River and injuring a certain, amount of people. The article says injuring 4 people. Okay, now listen, y'all. You may say, okay, Andrew, you're talking about something that's in Wisconsin. I live in another state. I'm not even in the area. Why should I be concerned? And again, to answer that point, you know, if in fact, with these rail cars ending up in, wow, there was one in Maine. I'm gonna have to look that one up. Is that where you are, Dragonfly Neb? I'm here in Georgia. Um, you know, if um, so to address that point of why you should be concerned, if there was a situation where chemicals were spilled into the water systems, do you know how many lakes and streams rely on water from the Mississippi River? Do you know where what other water systems flow from or flow into the Mississippi River? So each time these events occur, no matter what part of the country, okay, you're watching from California, okay? Shout out to everyone on the West Coast in California. But every time these events happen, um, there's always the potential for chemicals, okay, hazardous chemicals, materials to enter into our water systems, the atmosphere, the air, as well as the soil. Okay, so we have to, I feel like, I've said this before, we have to really pay attention with all this going on. We have to pay attention to, okay, where's our water coming from? Even if you buy and rely on bottled water, where's the water coming from? Where's your food coming from? Things like that, okay? Even as they clean up these sites, right? Where are they disposing of um, the hazardous material, okay? The toxic soil, the toxic water. Where are they taking uh, this material and discarding of it? Okay, are they discarding of it properly, or are they taking it from one community and bringing it into another community and making that community now toxic? Okay, these are things you have to think about. Hold on just a minute, y'all. I got a something going on. Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna just don't go no. Okay, I'm back, y'all. Okay, so again, y'all, I'm asking the question, or I'm saying, making a statement. We need to know where our food, our water, soil. If you buy bags of soil, could you imagine buying bags of soil that came from some of these toxic areas? Okay, you wouldn't think they would do that, but you just really don't know. Okay, they gotta get rid of it, do something with it. How do we know they're not bagging up the soil from places like East Palestine, this place in Wisconsin, and sending it to other areas? It's just something to think about, y'all. All right, so I want to talk about this train derailment. Okay, a cargo train derailed along Wisconsin's Highway 35 with 2 train cars falling into the Mississippi River. State officials said the train derailment occurred at around 12:15 p.m. near the Lansing Bridge between DeSoto and Fairville, with 20 BNSF train cars affected as first responders and crews rushed to tend to the injured and remove the cars from the river. Okay. Um, Officials confirmed there were no fatalities involved in the crash, with at least 4 people taken to a nearby hospital for non life threatening injuries. Okay. Thankfully, no one was hurt. Shocking video from a driver along the highway shows the aftermath of the derailment with the 2 train cars floating along the river. Okay, so I need to go back and check the thumbnail of this video. It looked like more than two cars in the river, so I think this is a correct story. I may have to go back and double check. Okay, um, I believe it is, but I could be I could have gotten it mixed up. Like I said, y'all, there's so many that are happening. It's almost confusing trying to keep track of it all. Um, let's see. They said, and I quote, "We will continue to monitor the situation and determine next steps." Um, the emergency management said that any hazardous material on board the trains remains in place during the derailment and does not pose a danger to the public or emergency responders. Okay, here's the stove again, y'all. I got to get up in just a minute. Okay. Speaking of toxic soil, okay, let me see how old this story is. Hold on, y'all. Let me see if I can let's see. Okay, hold on, y'all. Let me see. Okay. This happened in the earlier part of April. Hey, everyone. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Y'all, a truck, speaking of, okay, I just was talking about how they're taking the contaminated soil from one area, taking it to another. Did you know? Okay, I just realized this, right? I just saw this. A truck that was taking tainted waste out of East Palestine spilled, okay, onto the highway. Did you all know that? Give me just a minute, y'all. Let me see about this, the stove, and I'll be right back. Okay, don't go nowhere. Please share any thoughts in the comments. I'll be right back. Okay, don't go nowhere, y'all. Hold on. Okay, thank you all so much for your patience. Please let me know. Can you still hear me? Are you still able to hear me? Okay, I'm actually up late. It is what 12:28 here on the East Coast, and I'm cooking some turkey legs. So I broke off a little piece, um, just to see how it tastes. It's kind of hot because I just got it out of the oven, so I'll be able to taste it in just a moment when I let it cool down. Okay, are you all still able to hear me? Please let me know. And are you all enjoying the late night live? Please let me know your thoughts in the comments. I got to be right back up in just a few hours, maybe like many of you all. And so I do appreciate your support. Okay, had to break it up into, y'all see my pieces of turkey. Excuse me, y'all. Let me just try it. Mm. Listen, y'all. I don't mean to talk with my mouth full, but make sure. Speaking of cooking, right? Make sure that you check out my podcast. Okay, I do have a podcast here on YouTube. It's called Cooking with Andrea Speaks TV. You can find some of the videos that I've uploaded of me cooking. I'm showing you how to prepare healthy meals, meals on a budget, if you want to, call it that. So make sure right here on the channel that you check out my Cooking with Andrea podcast. So far, I have 10 videos. Okay, several people have been checking out those videos. I'm showing you how to cook baked chicken. Has some video on spaghetti, some videos on spaghetti, how to prepare a salad. Um, and I'm going to be, showing you all how to make more things coming up soon. Okay. Are you all able to hear me? This is so good, y'all. I should have made a video about this, but I can always do it later. But I'm making lemon pepper turkey legs. Okay. Listen, y'all. Hold on. Let me get one more bite. Can I get one more bite, y'all? Hold on. Let me see. Mm-mm-mm. That is so enough good. Okay, let's get back to the topic, y'all. So we're talking about the fact that around sometime around mid-April, as the cleanup was happening in um, East Palestine, Ohio, from the train derailment that happened about 3 months ago around February 3rd. Listen, y'all, trucks coming in and out using steel closed roads along the derailment site. They were getting loaded up with tainted soil or water and shipped off. But on that particular Monday, right, it says a tractor trailer carrying contaminated soil out of East Palestine overturned and spilled about 20,000 pounds of soil, the Environmental Protection Agency said. Okay, the crash occurred on a state highway before the truck had left the county where the town is located. Okay, so again, y'all, where are they taking, this contaminated soil, water? What happened, even though, um, what happened, even though it spilled? You all let me know. Are you all able to hear me, see me? I hope I'm not freezing up or anything like that. Let me see. I think everything is still coming through clearly. Get another bite of my turkey. Hold on just a minute, y'all. I'm typing a question in the chat. All right, so what do y'all think about the story that I just read? Now, according to the article, though authorities said that the truck spill, excuse me, was contained and didn't threaten waterways. It embodied the concerns among environmental activists about the way toxic materials are carried throughout the towns. Okay, fears regarding the waste removal echo those about rail transport of hazardous materials. One of the main issues highlighted by advocates and elected officials after the high-profile derailment. It says, okay. Um, One resident was quoted as saying it's not acceptable. Um, this person also said, I know there's really no other way, but they should be a little more cautious. This is hazardous waste. It should be handled as such, okay? Um, One East Palestine resident said that the truck spill was just another incident in a cleanup that she believes has been mishandled, okay? She also was quoted as saying that, and I quote, they just tell us everything is fine. No one will answer our questions, okay? So, again, what do y'all think about the story? What's really going on? I'm gonna do some research and follow up because this did happen last month around mid-April. So I'll do some research and see if they have in fact any updates on this particular story. Okay. I don't want to keep you all much longer. I know we've been on a little over an hour now. Excuse me, and I do have to be up in a few more hours, just as many of you all do. Does anyone have any questions? All right. So if there are no comments, questions, or concerns, I want to say thank you all so much for tuning in to another episode of Andrea Speaks TV. I appreciate each and every one of you all. If you're watching for the first time, I want to say welcome, welcome to the channel. I do want to invite you, if you're not a subscriber, I do want to invite you to subscribe to the channel, join our community, okay? Thank you all so much for your support. I appreciate each and every one of you all. I hope that you're doing well. I hope your family is doing well, and I hope that you continue to have, or if you're not, I pray that you have a great week ahead. Okay, someone just joined us. I was just about to end the live, but I want to see if anyone has any questions, comments, last minute thoughts or concerns that they would like to share. Okay. If you're just tuning in, I do want to encourage you to watch the replay of this live, which I'll post immediately after it's over. Okay. All right. If there are no questions, comments, or concerns, thank you all so much for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Not only do I want to invite you to subscribe to the channel, check out the mini videos. I have several playlists. Also, as I announced, I have a cooking podcast, Cooking with Andrea Speaks TV. Check those videos out. Y'all, a lot of my older videos, things that I talked about months ago or last year or at the start of the channel, a little over 2 years now, a lot of these things are happening now. Okay, so that's another reason to show you all, why I bring factual news, um, and why you can trust this channel. Okay, Andrea Speaks TV, to bring you news and commentary you can use. Okay, all right. Good night, y'all. Be blessed. Stay safe. Keep your head on swivel. Pay attention to what's happening around you, and I'll talk to you all soon. Okay, take care. Thank you for your support.